Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dig into why this huge, icy island, a place that's mostly just, well, ice, has suddenly become the center of this massive global power struggle. Greenland is just full of contradictions. It's way out there, almost nobody lives on it, and it's buried under a crazy thick sheet of ice. So, what gives? Why is this frozen landscape suddenly on the radar of every major superpower? First off, just to get a sense of the scale here, look at this. We're talking over 2 million square kilometers. That's bigger than Mexico and Indonesia combined. It is an absolutely massive piece of land. But here's the crazy part. Its population is tiny. Just 57,000 people. That's smaller than a lot of towns. And pretty much everyone lives right on the coast, where the ice isn't quite so thick. In most of the country, minus 30 degrees Celsius is just a normal day. Okay, so all this recent buzz, with people like former President Donald Trump saying he wanted to buy the island, it might seem like it came out of nowhere, right? But it's not new at all. This is just the latest chapter in what's been like a century-long American obsession with Greenland. And the reason? It all comes down to geopolitics. Militarily, Greenland's location is just perfect. It's like this giant, unsinkable aircraft carrier parked right between Russia and North America. If you control Greenland, you basically have a commanding view of the entire Arctic. And trust me, America has known this for a very long time. This isn't just some passing interest. It's been a persistent, almost obsessive pursuit. The U.S. first tried to buy it way back in 1867. They tried again in 1910. During World War II, they took over its security. And then in 1946, President Truman offered what would be over $1 billion today in solid gold. And every single time, Denmark said no. But hold on, you might be thinking the U.S. already has military bases there, right? Like that super important Thule Air Base. So what's the problem? Well, here's the thing that's really got Washington worried. Greenland's independence movement is getting stronger. And if Greenland actually breaks away from Denmark, that new nation could just turn around and say, hey, get your bases out of here. Or maybe you can stay for a price. And this is why a lot of experts are, let's say, a little skeptical of the official U.S. line. They look back at history, they see the claims about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq that were never found, or the Gulf of Tonkin incident in Vietnam, and they start to wonder. They argue that maybe, just maybe, these security concerns are a convenient cover story for what America really wants in Greenland. And those deeper ambitions, they go way beyond just military bases. Because buried under that 2-kilometer thick sheet of ice is, well, it's basically a modern-day treasure chest, just overflowing with the raw materials that are going to build our future. Okay, to really get what's at stake here, you have to understand one thing: China. Right now, China has a virtual monopoly on what we call rare earth elements. They control 90% of the world's supply. And these aren't just some weird minerals. They're the absolute non-negotiable building blocks for pretty much all of our modern tech. So you can imagine what's at stake. Greenland is sitting on some of the world's largest untouched deposits of these exact same elements. We're talking about things like neodymium, which you need for the magnets in electric cars and wind turbines, gallium, which is crucial for AI chips, even uranium for nuclear power. People have called these things the oxygen of future technology, and whoever controls Greenland's supply could completely shatter China's economic stranglehold. Oh, and that's not even getting into the oil and gas. Current estimates suggest there are at least 31 billion barrels of oil just sitting off the coast of northeast Greenland, and who knows how much more is under all that ice. It's just staggering. But you know what? There's one final reason for this whole scramble for Greenland, and honestly, it might be bigger than the minerals, the oil, and even the military bases. This is the ultimate prize, the one that could literally redraw the map of global trade. For hundreds of years, explorers dreamed of finding a shortcut through the Arctic, a faster way to get from Asia to Europe. They called it the Northwest Passage. Well, now, because of climate change and melting ice, that legendary route is actually opening up. It's becoming a reality. And this new Arctic superhighway, it's a total game changer. I mean, look at this. A ship going from China to London can shave off an incredible 9,000 kilometers by taking this route instead of going through the Suez Canal. That's millions in fuel saved and nearly 2 weeks less travel time. It's huge. And guess what sits right at the eastern entrance of this brand new maritime highway? Yep, Greenland.
So, the country that controls Greenland is basically controlling the toll plaza for the most important new trade route of the 21st century. So you can see this isn't just some political chess game happening in a far-off place. The outcome of this rivalry over Greenland has massive consequences. And if any one power tried to make a hostile move, well, it could set off a pretty catastrophic chain of events.
Just think about it for a second. Greenland is technically part of Denmark, and Denmark is a founding member of NATO. And the whole point of NATO is Article 5. An attack on one is an attack on all. So if the US made any kind of hostile move on Danish territory, it could literally shatter that 70-year-old alliance from the inside out.
Yeah, experts warn that the fallout would be just severe and global. Suddenly, one nation has total dominance over the Arctic. The historic trust between America and Europe? Gone. China's tech industry gets crippled overnight as America seizes control of all those key minerals. And all the while, aggressive mining could devastate a super fragile ecosystem, and the ancient culture of the Greenlandic people, well, it could be lost forever.
So here's the bottom line. Greenland's future isn't just a local issue anymore. The decisions made about this vast icy island are probably going to shape the global balance of power for the next 100 years, which leaves us with one final and kind of chilling question. As that ice continues to melt, is this new open Arctic going to bring us an era of cooperation, or will the fight to control it be the spark that ignites the next world war?